Right, good afternoon. It's Sunday the 28th of August. I'm Victor Christian from Christian Guitars, and this is this week's On the Bench. Right, getting back to something you've all seen before, the Warwick Corvette Standard bass came in with the twisted, not just a twisted and bent neck and warped neck. The truss rod was also pagged. The end thread there had all been chewed up, so we couldn't get an Allen key on it, and also the truss rod had seized. So what I had to do is these truss rods on these models, these Corvettes, the later ones after 1996, they've got a non-removable truss rod. So the only way to get them out is you got to strip the neck. You have to take off the fretboard, which I've done, and you have to get inside and you have to remove this big beam of maple on the inside, which I've also done. This was glued in, by the way. You had to steam that out, you had to steam the neck off. You've seen it on my videos. And truss rod, it sits in. The reason you can't remove these is, just bear with me a second, there you go, is because they've got T-pieces and they sit in these holes, one at our end, adjustable one at our end. So you can't remove them. So the only way to remove them is to take fretboard off. Now, I've got fretboard off, got it all done. You've seen my videos, cleaned all the glue off the neck there, steamed it all off, scraped it all off, sanded it. Same with the fretboard there. Now, I'm getting it back together. That's what I'm going to be doing this week. But I noticed when I did a mock-up, broken inside, and we got fretboard on, the fretboard, the neck underneath this side here is overlapping the fretboard. So what's happened is there's a bit of a bend in the neck this way, like that way. So what we're going to do is, you know how we pin, I'm going to pin them in both ends like that, like we did with the guide pins. We put guide pins, took 2 frets out, if you remember, just jogging your memory here, took both the end frets out, we drilled in, we put pins in there, and you've got the pin holes. There you see, one there, one there. So we can get this lined up. What we're going to do is we're going to pin it back in as normal when it's all glued. When it comes to this middle bit that's out of whack, out of line, I'm going to remove another fret. And what we're going to do is we're going to move it to where it needs to be when this is pinned in this end, and I'm going to screw it in. We're going to bend it over, I'm going to clamp it over, and I'm going to screw it down when I remove one of these frets. And then it's going to be glued, and the pins are all going to be holding it in position. Then we're going to wrap it round with rubber strapping, and that's all going to get done. So how that works is basically, I'll show you a truss rod while we're here. 2 ends of a truss rod, static, that's the body end, that's the neck end. These two go in the T-pieces, and what happens is, this grommet turns. This doesn't turn, but this piece does. It turns both ways, so you can tighten it and loosen it. And that's what we're going to do, that's how it's going to work. So we're going to get that in this week. I'm going to place it in now just to show you. And that's going to be the main job. That's going to be the first job tomorrow, that one. That's why I'm here. Here you go. Got a truss rod in. You see how it works? That's locked in position. You're locked in this end, and there's your adjuster there, and that goes one way or another, and it tightens or loosens the truss rod. That's how it works. And between this and the neck, we've got the piece of maple here. I'm not going to put it in right now. I'm going to show you how it goes. I could put it in if you want. We'll bang her in there. Bang her in there. We'll get it all glued in like it was before. Once it's glued in, we'll clamp it. We'll get a piece of steel on there, clamp it down. And when it comes to putting the fretboard back on, we'll put a little strip of sellotape just across this maple here, so we don't glue the maple to the fretboard in case we ever need to move it again. So that's going to be that. That's going to be first job tomorrow. Moving on, I'm going to clear a couple of my guitars out of the way this week. You know all about my Nevada Les Paul, which I bought dirt cheap, 25 quid. Now I upgraded with all black hardware, cheap Chinese hardware, and I put some active ESP pickups in there. Well, I'd already got in stock some Fletcher pickups from a guy called Ben Fletcher, who's out in Birmingham Way, there. He will unwind and unbuild you some custom pickups. So I told him what I wanted, he did me these. And they were 25 quid a piece. And I've got a Purgatory for the dirt in the bridge, and I've got Heaven, Hot Heaven, in the neck for the cleans. The brilliant pickups are really, really good. I'm not super keen. We don't put out this purgatory. It's 16k ohm. It's really hot pickup, but it still doesn't put out quite as much beef as my actives. But saying that, they clean up really well. They're very articulate with very clear pickups. So I bang them in. They look brilliant. I don't think I'm keeping them in though. I'm going to put my actives back in there because it just sounds better. Also with this, I put on some new tuners. Look, cheap £9 things from China. They're really good. And they look the part. I thought they'd look better than the lockable ones. So I've got them in. Electrics I've done. I got a new solder station. I can't remember what it's called, I'll tell you in a bit. And look at it, look at the difference to my soldering there. It looks like it's been done by a machine. So I'm really into that. So that's it with that guitar. Like I say, I'm going to take them pickups out and I've got another guitar for them. Now, one of my customers come and picked up his Schecter today. Schecter with, I did all the electrics on it. Redid the electrics, put some new pots in there. His tone wasn't working, his core split wasn't working properly. So I sorted all that out. It's got bare knuckle aftermaths in there. Sounds great, he's picked it up. But since last time he was here, I bought a guitar from a lad in Cannock who I didn't know. And it's a great guitar. And Brad has just been, he lives in Cannock, so he went and fetched it for me. I've just took delivery of it. Would you believe I paid 50 quid for this? What do you think? What do you think to that? How beautiful does that look? But not that, it's in really good condition. There's a few chips here and there, front and back. But do you know what it is? Let me show you. That's right, it's an Antoria. It's an Antoria model number EG1935. I've seen the sticker in there, it's made in Korea, so it's one of the early 80s ones. I paid 50 notes for that. I've got no idea what pickups they are. The bridge and the tailpiece, I don't know what they are. The tuners are no name, but I paid £50 for it. It's got a couple of dings here and there. It wants cleaning up. I'm going to completely strip it. I'm going to see what the pots are, what capacitors are in there, what the pickups are. So the frets are quite worn. The neck's got a bit of a bend in it, which I'm going to have to sort out. My neck's been glued in the past, he didn't mention that, but I'll sort all that out anyway. We'll clean all the frets up, maybe do a refret on it, and I might move that on in the future. I don't know anything about this guitar, well, apart from what I've just told you, so that's absolutely brilliant. I'm really pleased with that. Then moving on to another friend of mine, another customer, Mark Smith. He bought me a Telecaster in, which I've done. That's had a set up, and he also bought me in this, which has been bringing me for 3 years, and he's finally bought it round. It's a Crafter semi-acoustic, electro-acoustic, GAE 15 or GAE 15, made in Korea obviously. His electrics have, he's lost a cover to his battery, and I think this is packed in. So what we're going to do is we're going to try, I've been looking everywhere to get another one for him, another EQ to fit in there, and I couldn't find one, but I've got one, sits very close, so I'm going to be replacing that. But what it means to doing, I'm going to have to reroute this. And the new one I've got doesn't fit there, it fits slightly lower. I'll show you. Best thing to do is show you. That's the old one, which fits the old perfect, fits the contour. This one just quite doesn't fit the contour exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that fit, which we're going to do. I'm just going to, just enough, just so I can cover this edge of this hole here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a strip of plywood in the back of there, glue it in, and I'm going to give something this to bind on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug these holes, get it all matched up. So I'm going to get on with that this week. That's going to be a tough job. It's going to take me quite a while, but the main thing is to just get this little bit of hole not showing, and then I'll write out what I need to take out here, and we'll get it all done. So, really, so far for this week, bar, I've got to pick a guitar up in Nottingham tomorrow. I've got another 2 coming in this week, so that's basically it for this week. It's a semi-busy week. You never know what's going to happen in this game. I could get a big flood on in the next couple of days or so. But if not, I've got enough here to keep me busy. Any updates? First and foremost, I'm going to be going on with Warwick tomorrow as much as I can. Now, tomorrow is my wife's birthday. She'll be 20, she's 28 tomorrow, 29, I can't remember. But it's a birthday tomorrow, so we're going to whiz out into Nottingham, and I'm going to take some lunch and that, and blah 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 blah. So maybe I won't get a lot of work done tomorrow, but what I do, if I do any work tomorrow, I can be on this Warwick. So that'll be it. So until I get back with updates rest of the week, it's me, Victor Christian from Christian Guitars, saying be good to each other, and I'll talk to you next week.